expect nothing and you can't be disappointed. I remember hearing that old phrase years and years ago by Billy Connolly. Now, not for 1 second suggesting you take life advice from the big yin. That's just to recall saying it for the first time. But throughout life, I found it to be pretty accurate. You keep your expectations low, disappointment is also low. That's why when I expect West Ham to lose and we lose, I find it hard to get angry because I thought that's what was going to happen. So when it occurs, I'm not surprised. There's no surprise factor there. But then I'm able to flip that round and the opposite applies, which is when you expect nothing and you get something, you probably enjoy it a little bit more than those who did predict it. And that's very much the case for me yesterday. I didn't think we'd get anything against Chelsea. I'd have bit your hand off for a point. I'm not going to change my mind. You join in the preview, you'll know exactly what I was predicting. I thought Chelsea would beat us 2-0. I thought they looked quite good against Liverpool. Thought we looked poor against Bournemouth. So the net result is, I think we're going to lose. I think we're going to lose comfortably. I didn't give us a chance of getting 3 points yesterday. So I'd have been delighted with just a draw. Now, not everybody, in fairness, I will say shout out to our subscribers. Because myself and Gon's got a little bit of a rouse. People tuned into the preview and said, excuse me, it's a bit negative. Where's all the positivity gone? We're not negative, believe it or not, we're not negative for negative's sake. We're just honest. If it happens to be negative, it happens to be negative. It happens to be positive, it happens to be positive. So while we're not negative for negative's sake, we're also not positive for positive's sake. It's just honesty. We can't do the fake positivity, right? So when we say we think we'll lose, it's just what we think. We think we'll lose. So we've got a bit of a row from the subscribers, but I don't mind being held to task. That's fine. Get around most videos anyway, regardless, so it's good. But what did surprise me, the row didn't surprise me by the way, what did surprise me was a level of optimism. People tuning in the comments saying, I think we're going to win 2-1. There's a lot of 2-1 predictions going in fairness, they were nearly right. You know, you were wrong, but nearly right, alright? Fair play to you. But no, seriously, good on you. I liked it. I got to the point I was thinking, are me and Gonzo being too harsh? I thought, well, no, it's just our honest opinions. But there was a lot of people that called that West Ham win. But I probably enjoyed it more than you guys because you've seen it coming. I certainly didn't, and I absolutely loved it. Now listen, was this champagne football? No. Was it a free-flowing attacking football? No. Did we play Chelsea off the park? No. Do you know what? I don't care. I loved it. We could beat Chelsea, Tottenham and Man United. That's the three. We could beat them 1-0. And I'll be delighted. I don't care who scores. I don't care how. We can have one shot on target. In fact, we can have no shots on target and we score via an own goal. A bit like what we did to Fulham last season. Remember that game at Craven Cottage where we won through an own goal? We could do that against Tottenham, Chelsea and Man United for me. And I'll be buzzing. It doesn't matter. You can probably lump Man City in as well for different reasons. I don't hate Man City. They're just the best team. Whereas the other three, I love to beat them more than anyone. So I loved it. Listen, there was a lot of positives to take from yesterday. The midfield, we'll get onto that. Antonio's performance, I thought defence as a unit, I thought we were brilliant at times against Chelsea. But we got the 3 points. I was ecstatic. Now, I'll be honest with you, I've had a fantastic weekend. The reason I missed the videos with Gonzo, I wasn't intending on. I was trying to get back. We just got stuck in traffic. I had to watch the game in a pub outside Derby. Because on Friday went up to Bridlington over on the East Coast. Never been out that direction before, just under Scarborough, past Hull. Never been in that direction. But there was a music festival called By the Sea, By This Feeling. It was incredible. If you like your guitar music, then please try and go next year. 50 quid for 2 days. No overnight stays with that. It's in a small venue. On Friday, you can go in and out, get your band on, you can go in, watch the music, when they're changing the sets, go out into the town, go to a pub, whatever, go back in for the music, switch it out in and out. So Friday and Saturday, loads of bands on. It's grassroots music, grassroots band, before they're big kind of thing. But some of my favourite bands were playing, the K's and the Lathams, absolutely loved them. We'll go to see them on their own. The Lottery Winners, the Lilacs, the Fiends, the Red Rum Club, lots of top talent on show on Friday and Saturday night, and I absolutely loved it. So if you're into your guitar music and you can get there next year, do go. 50 quid for 2 days of music, absolute bargain. I pay more than £50 for a ticket for one act, so to get that much music for 50 quid was superb. Now this video is not sponsored, by the way, I'm just telling you about it. So Friday, Saturday was incredible. Sunday, oh here we go, Chelsea's away to ruin my weekend. Not the case. West Ham continued the good feeling. I've had the perfect weekend, truth be told. That's why I've still got this on. If I take it off, the weekend is officially over. I feel like when I snip it off, and I've got to snip it off because the geezer put it on a little bit tight, I can barely breathe, but when I do snip it off. That's it. The feeling ends. The weekend's over. But no, to my surprise, we thrashed Chelsea 3-1. And you know what? I think we deserved it. Now, one of the pleasing aspects about it, enough about my weekend now, let's talk about the game, was the midfield. Because last season, we didn't have options in midfield. But now, hold your horses, I know. We had Flynn Downs, we had Man, I know we did. I'm not talking about who you like or who I like. I'm talking about who David Moyes uses. Who would David Moyes play in a game that matters? Souček, Rice, Paqueta. Rice, Souček, Paqueta. Rice, Souček, Paqueta. Souček, Rice, Paqueta. That was it. That was our midfield three every single important game. If we had a Conference League game, a Carabao Cup game, if we had a lot of Premier League games in a back-to-back in a really tight schedule, sure, Moyes would rotate the team up. Downs would get a game, Lanzini would get a game. But it was few and far between. The games that mattered, the meaningful games, Rice, Souček, Paqueta, that was it. That was it. You can argue with me if you want, but I'm not going to change my mind on it. We didn't have options. We had a midfield three, and that was that. It was very predictable. And it was predictable for this weekend. So much so that even though myself and Gonzo got the scoreline wrong, we got the outcome wrong, we did get the starting 11 right. We thought this is what Moyes is going to do, and it was bang on. It's predictable. So when I was watching the game yesterday, and I thought the midfield played really well. I thought Souček had a fantastic final 20-25 minutes, especially when we were down to 10 men. I thought Souček was brilliant playing in centre midfield. I thought he justified Moyes' decision to leave him on, because Moyes had a couple of big calls to make with his subs. He left Souček on. He was always going to, but Souček's performance post substitutions very much justified his manager's choice. Ward-Prowse, 2 fantastic assists to his name. 96% pass completion, I think it was. Brilliant performance in midfield as far as a debut goes. Can't ask for more. Paqueta, again, lots of signs of quality. Now, were all three of them perfect? No, there was sloppiness. A couple of times they had the ball and the ball got nicked off them. A couple of times they got skinned. The passes went waywards or whatever. They were not perfect. Individually or as a three, there was a bit of work to be done. But I was pleased with what I've seen. Really pleased with what I've seen. Paqueta himself, a big game for him yesterday. We knew he'd turn up. He did it against Bournemouth. We rejected a bid from Man City. He plays against Bournemouth. He got that performance. We knew he was going to give us a performance like that. But he was committed. He was getting stuck in. Apart from when Sterling held his hand and he decided to stop rather than chase. When he had the ball, he decided to stop and let Sterling have the ball. That was a little bit silly. But in the corner, he wins a throw-in the last minute. He's celebrating it like he's just got a book in. Am I allowed to say that? Betway, leave it out. Boy, Betway, snitch. No more grassing. For legal reasons, that was a joke. Paqueta wasn't celebrating because he got booked. He was celebrating because he got a throw-in. Heavily involved in the last minute to get a penalty. Superb pen. I know Luke Penn in the 96th minute. Oh, the audacity, and I love it. But Paqueta justified his manager's decision as well, because I'll be honest with you, when the third sub went to happen, I thought it should probably be Paqueta. He's looking a little bit tired. He was playing left mid, looked a little bit knackered. He was getting a little bit wound up by people. Moyes left him on. I thought, that's bold. That is bold. Bearing in mind he's an attacking player. We're down to 10 men hanging on to a lead. And it worked out. It got us the win in the end. But the one thing I found strange, by the way, is the last 2 subs. We made them within a handful of minutes of each other. Now, while you get 5 subs, you're only allowed to stop the game 3 times. Obviously, half-time doesn't count, but we didn't do any. So Bonner came on. Fine. That's stoppage number 1, substitute number 1. Or Bonner came on. Fine. But then we did the next one, which is when Fornals came on. So stoppage number 2, on comes Fornals. And Alvarez came on a couple of minutes later. And I thought, well, we now can't stop the game anymore. That's it. We've got 20 minutes, including this. We might as well assume all games are going to be about 100 minutes now. We've now got 20 minutes of gameplay where we can't stop the game anymore. We can't make any more substitutions. And I just thought it was a strange thing to do, to bring Alvarez on just a couple of minutes after Fornals. But anyway, Alvarez came on, got stuck in, crash, bang, wallop, loved it, just started banging into all these Chelsea players, just what we needed. And but when I was watching, I was thinking, we've got options now. We've got options. We've now got 4 centre midfielders. I'm including Paqueta as a centre midfielder here. You can imagine. I guess you could say Fornals to do the Paqueta kind of job. But we've now got options in there that David Moyes will play. If, hypothetically, Alvarez was up to speed now, pre-season things gone, he's now 100%. All 4 midfielders are 100%. Who's he starting against Brighton? Who's David Moyes starting in field? We know he'll start Paqueta. That's one of them. Who's the other two? I don't know. I think you can make a case for it being Alvarez and Ward-Prowse, but I'll tell you what, that means you've got to believe Thomas Souček's getting dropped, and I'm far from convinced Souček's getting dropped, but I like it. Not necessarily that Souček won't get dropped, but that we don't know, that we've got options now. And then whichever one is on the bench, let's say it is Alvarez again, if Souček's having a poor game, Ward-Prowse is having a poor game, off. Alvarez is coming on. We've now got someone now that Moyes can use. Even if it's Souček on the bench, see, he'll bring him on, he'll bring Souček on. Hopefully at half time, the midfield's not doing well, we can switch up. I like it, we've got options in midfield now. So when I was watching that Chelsea game, I was actually excited a little bit that we do actually have options. Because last season, Souček, Rice, Paqueta, if they were 85% fit, they were playing. If they were out of form, they were still playing. They were having a poor game, they stayed on the pitch. It didn't really matter. Hopefully that is gone now. Nayef Aguerd though. Now, well, we get some things wrong. We do also get some things right occasionally here on Hammers Chat. Just last week I was saying to Gonzo in the player ratings, he's going to cost us, Aguerd. Now, he didn't cost us. I guess you could argue got it wrong. But I thought Solanke caused them all sorts of bother last week when we played Bournemouth. He's a bit 6s and 7s, and I thought he's going to do stuff. Concede penalties, get sent. Oh, he's going to cost us at some point because he just feels like a bit of a... 1 minute is incredible. The tackle's fantastic. Then the next he's just a bit of a liability, and we saw that yesterday. The first half hour, I thought Jackson gave him all sorts of bother. No issues with his first yellow card against Raheem Sterling. I get it, but then there's some interceptions he does that are it's just fantastic. He reads the game so well, and well done, brilliant. But the next thing is he's tangling with players. You think, hang on a minute, and then second half he does that slide tackle in the ball. Wow, world class, well done. He goes and does that stupid tackle on Jackson. Now, while we've had a row from subscribers, I'm not going to give some subscribers a row. I'm not really. It's just not for legal purposes, but just for the same clarity. This is a joke. A lot of people wanted Aguerd as captain. I was never really keen on it, so it's a bit confirmation bias, but you can't have that as your captain. That tackle, that second yellow card was just stupidity. That's all it was. It was complete stupid. You can't have that as your skipper. I think I was fuming with him when he did that because we went on to win the game. But had we drew, yes, had Chelsea got an equaliser, that would have been laid firm. In my opinion, that would have been laid firmly at Aguerd's door. And I don't want to see him get let off with it because we went on to win the game. So has he cost us anything? No. But it's not. He's got lucky. He's got really lucky that we went on to win that because that was a stupid thing to do at such a vital point in the game. And it's just completely unnecessary. Listen, if he'd got skinned and Jackson was in on goal outside 18-yard and he thought, I'm just going to pull him down and get sent off. I get it. He's took one for the team. But he wasn't doing that. It was just an idiot thing to do, that tackle on Jackson. But anyway, let's finish it off by speaking about Michail Antonio, shall we? One thing that's impressed me a lot about yesterday and against Bournemouth is the commitment, the work ethic of all the players involved, every single one of them. Because we're still in the transfer window. I don't like it, but we're still in the transfer window. And that's why I would have been okay with a draw against Chelsea yesterday. Because I'm almost at the point where I'm like, let's just get through till September when we've got our players in. The players that are still here are stuck here. So Antonio, Creswell, who I believe are the two at the minute at one time. We're not going anywhere. Transfer window's shut, so you might as well roll your socks up, roll your sleeves up and get on with it and give 100%. Maybe you'll get your move in January, just like Craig Dawson did last year. So the club do have evidence where they can say, actually, here, look, we will let you go if we can find a replacement. If things are done correctly, we will let you go. But until we get to the window closing, there's this period of uncertainty for certain players who, and there's a lot of talk about players being unhappy, etc., etc. You know that. So I was a bit worried when we played Bournemouth. Oh, was Paqueta's head turned? No, okay. Antonio's head, no, okay, happy days. I thought Antonio was superb in the second half yesterday. First half, I thought he had his moments, had his spells. At one point, I thought Thiago Silva outpaced him. He did well to get back and outmuscle Thiago Silva, but initially, I thought he got done in a sprint with Silva, which concerned me a little bit. But the second half, I thought his running, his dribbling, his work rate, I thought was unbelievable. He was getting back defending, down to 10 men. He was filling in midfield. I thought we had sort of like mini beast mode Antonio yesterday. And when Antonio turns up, I mean, I haven't even mentioned his goal. That was a fantastic strike by Antonio. But when that Antonio turns up, it works. It works. The chances of us getting a result playing like this under David Moyes increases dramatically when you get that Michail Antonio. I thought he was superb. All Chelsea defenders struggled with him. He stayed away from Colwell a little bit, which is the right thing to do. Just hung around that Disasi, who was a bit crap yesterday, weren't he? I've never seen him play before. I've seen him against Liverpool. I mean, I thought he was rubbish. I thought Antonio done him time and time again. Yeah, special shout out to Antonio. Ariel had a superb game as well, but I just thought Antonio, with everything going on, with the fuss of a potential move away, I thought he was fantastic. Well, I'm going to shut up, but like I said, by the sea, I'll tell you what then. If you want two songs, the Lathums, Lathums, Sad Face Baby, and then the K's Landmines. That's the two songs. Go listen to them, and if you like them, I'll see you in Bridlington next year. Like I said, this video is not sponsored by them. I'm not gaining anything out of this. I just really enjoy my music, and I thought that weekend was superb. It started brilliantly on Friday, chilling on the beach, went to see some music. Saturday, chilling on the beach, going to see some music. Sunday, go to the pub, watching West Ham smash Chelsea. What a weekend. Now I'm going to snip this off. Weekend's over. But if you've enjoyed this video, please do drop a like on it. Subscribe to Thomas Chat. Catch you in a bit.